650 different types of skeletal muscles. Yes, 650 different types of skeletal muscles are present in our body. These muscles, they vary in their size, they vary in their shape, but they have the basic structure. And we will discuss this basic structure, the basic anatomy of the skeletal muscle, and we will see how this skeletal muscle perform the function, its physiology and its anatomy. There are many tissues associated with the skeletal muscle, like the blood vascular tissue, the blood vessels, like the nervous tissue, which will coordinate different, there is presence of connective tissue as well, which will connect the muscle with the bone. And but we will see primarily we will focus on the structure of the skeletal muscle and the function of the skeletal muscle. Let's begin with the structure or anatomy of the skeletal muscle. Now let's see what is the skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is the muscle which is associated with the bones through a connective tissue, a fibrous connective tissue called tendon. Tendons connect muscle with the bones, but it's not directly attached with the bones. It is attached with the periosteum. Periosteum is the covering present around the skeleton or the bone. It is also made up of connective tissue. It's also a tissue. So muscle connect with the tendons, and the tendons connect with the periosteum, which is the covering of the, which is connective tissue in the which is strongly held cover of the bones, and beneath this is the bone. So muscle to bone connection is by this tendon. Let's start the skeletal muscle structure on the board. I'll describe it there. A skeletal muscle is a muscle which is associated with the bones. As you can see over here, this is skeletal muscle, this is the triceps muscle, this is connected to the bone via a connective tissue. This is fibrous connective tissue called as tendon. This tendon is connected to the bone. It's not directly connected to the bone surface. There is a covering, additional covering in the surrounding of the bones. And that covering which is in the surrounding of the bones, that is called as periosteum. And the tendon is connected to the periosteum. Okay. Now there is another tissue which is present also, present over here along with the tendon. It is ligament. Ligament is not associated with muscles. It's just present over here. It connects the bones with the bones. So bone to bone connection is the ligament, and muscle to bone connection is through a connective tissue called as tendon. Now you can see over here, I have another label over here, that is belly of the muscle. Belly of the muscle is the swollen portion. This is called as the belly of muscle. A skeletal muscle consists of 3 layers or 3 tiers. You can say that, just for example, there's a box and there's another box within the box, and there's another box inside that, and the third layer. This is just like that. There is a layering of the connective tissue. The skeletal muscle fiber you can see over here, this connective tissue is called as mysium. Mysium is the connective tissue that is which is in the surrounding of the skeletal muscle fiber. It is present in, it is the container, it is the covering of the you can say the outermost, the box, or the outermost covering of the outermost layer. It is the outermost layer. It's the layer of the muscle fiber. Each skeletal muscle consists of 3 layers of connective tissue, and this connective tissue is dense, irregular, fibrous connective tissue. This is called as mysium. You can see there are three layers or 3 tiers of the mysium. What are those 3 tiers or 3 layers? That is, the outermost is called as epimysium, then there is inner perimysium, and the last one is endomysium. Okay, epimysium first. Epimysium, this is the epimysium. You can see this is the muscle fiber. The whole muscle is covering, it is present in a cover, and this is called as epimysium. Inside the epimysium, there are fascicles. Fascicles, or you can say muscle fiber bundles. This is a muscle fiber bundle which consists of many muscle fiber, many muscle fibers. And then inside this, let's zoom this one as a single fascicle or single muscle fiber bundle. This single fascicle or single muscle fiber bundle is having another covering. This another cover is called as perimysium. Okay, and this is the second mysium, second layer of the mysium. Again, irregular and dense fibrous connective tissue for the protection, for the flexibility of the muscles for its working. And each fascicle muscle fiber bundle, it is supplied, richly supplied with the blood capillaries, And blood capillaries is for the nourishment, for the nourishment, for the supply of the glucose, nutrients, and for the supply of the oxygen. And it is also supplied over here. It is also supplied with the neurons, or the nerve supply is also present. Nerve supply also reaches the muscle fiber bundle or the fascicle. Now, there's another term normally we use about the skeletal muscles, and this is called as motor unit. What is motor unit? A motor unit is a somatic motor neuron, a single somatic motor neuron associated with many muscle fibers. And where are the muscle fibers? Muscle fibers are inside this muscle fiber bundle. There are about 20 to 60 muscle fibers, and each muscle fiber is again covered with another connective tissue, again mysium, which is called as endomysium. It is also dense and irregular fibrous connective tissue. Each muscle fiber bundle is having many muscle fibers, and each muscle fiber is a complete muscle cell. So this is the tissue. The whole muscle fiber, the whole skeletal muscle is a tissue, and tissue consists of similar cells. And where is this cell? This is this cell. This is long, multinucleated. You can see oval-shaped nuclei present over here. There are many oval-shaped nuclei present in this cell. This is whole cell, and this whole cell, the covering of the cell membrane. If I say this is the cell is having cell membrane, the nucleus, the cytoplasm, the basic components. This is the nucleus. You can see over here. These are the nuclei which are present just beneath the membrane. Where is the membrane of the cell? This green in color. This is called as sarcolemma. Sarcolemma is the membrane of this muscle fiber cell. So this is all muscle fiber cell covered with endomysium. Many muscle fibers with the endomysium cover, they are packed in a muscle fiber bundle or fascicle, and this fascicle is also having another connective tissue, the perimysium, and then the perimysium is making the fascicle. The fascicles, many fascicles, they combine together and they are covered with the epimysium, and this makes the muscle, which is further connected to the bones. Okay. Well, let's see about the fascicle. This is the muscle fiber bundle. I was talking about the motor unit. Motor unit is as you can as you know that skeletal muscle is a muscle which is under voluntary control. We can change the speed depending on us. You can change the speed of the muscle. I can move it gradually, or I can move it very quickly, depending on me. It's under my conscious control. This voluntary activity is regulated by the somatic nervous system. And somatic motor neuron, a single somatic motor neuron associated with many muscle fibers inside this fascicle. This is called as motor unit. Okay, now how many neurons, how many muscle fibers are associated with this somatic motor neuron through axon? The count may vary. It may be from 180 to, in some cases, it may be 1,000 to 2,000 muscle fibers associated with this single motor neuron. Okay, so it depends on the locality or on the function of the muscle type, the type of the muscle. Okay, let's zoom into it. This is the muscle fiber cell. The muscle fiber cell having a cover. This cover is called as endomysium. Every separate this the endomysium. If we cut it out, we see that just beneath the endomysium is the sarcolemma. This is sarcolemma. But for the convenience, for the understanding, I have just placed this portion over here. Now we are cutting the sarcolemma, the cell membrane of the muscle fiber. Now we separate the cell membrane of the muscle fiber, which is sarcolemma. It is the membrane of the muscle fiber, and the cytoplasm of the muscle fiber is called as sarcoplasm, and it is nucleated. It is a multinucleate cell. So it is having oval-shaped nuclei which are present throughout the muscle fibers. It is having other components like mitochondria. It is richly supplied with mitochondria because its functions requires energy. Mitochondria provides the energy. Okay, this muscle fiber consists of many smaller units called as myofibrils. These are the myofibrils. Okay, so we'll see over here, but this is this side. Let's go into the layering of it. The sarcolemma, if we remove sarcolemma, we see that there are two components just in the lower layer, just beneath the sarcolemma. There is presence of, you can see in the blue color, this is sarcoplasmic reticulum. And sarcoplasmic reticulum is associated, associated with the tubular structures. This is called as T-tubule or transverse tubule. Myofibril, this myofibril finally consists of actin and myosin. These are the structures which are responsible for the contraction and relaxation of the muscle. This is the myofibril. This myofibril consists of actin, which is thin fibrous protein, and myosin, which is relatively thick fibrous protein. Okay, then there are some other terms, just closing this. Triad is the T-tubule, a single T-tubule with adjacent, like this is the T-tubule, and in the surrounding of the T-tubules, on both sides of the T-tubule, there is presence of sarcoplasmic reticulum. This collectively is called as triad. Okay, this is the triad. Okay, and we'll discuss myofibril in detail in next lecture. Thank you so much.